Coming up on Mountain News this morning, schools across eastern Kentucky are still fighting off sickness, with many choosing to close for the remainder of the week.
We take you to Frankfort for one tax proposal could put extra strain on some Kentucky athletics.
And one bill may change the future of sports betting here in the Commonwealth, sparking debate on if it can even be legally passed.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 4:59. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Madison Pergram.
Well, thank you for tuning into Mountain News This Morning on this Thursday, or Madison.
Friday Eve.
Yes, it's a Friday Eve. It's your last work day of the week. Very welcome. You worked a long stretch before your last Friday off.
I know.
So
I can do this
deserved.
Friday off thing. It's pretty nice.
As somebody who gets a lot of Fridays off, I agree wholeheartedly. Let's bring Brandon in this morning. And Brandon, while the sun might not come out a whole lot for a 3-day weekend for Madison, it still should be a pretty nice one temperature-wise, right?
It's going to trend upward the next few days. So if you've got some time off this weekend, get outside and enjoy it. Maybe more on Sunday than tomorrow or on Saturday. But again, just kind of keep in mind that this morning it's a little chilly. Let's take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar. We had a little bit of snow overnight, maybe a few flakes still flying around this morning. Nothing major though. We're going to continue to see limited travel issues. If you have any at all, you see a few flakes earlier up on top of Whitesburg Pine Mountain. Now some fog trying to build in, so be careful of that UVA wise. Again, not much going on over there. A couple of snow squalls at times, and maybe just a coating there on the rooftops on campus there in Southwest Virginia. But for the most part, everybody else doing okay. Some spots are well above freezing. 39 Jonesville, just down the road there from Wise. 38 in Middlesboro, 37 Jacksboro, but a lot of folks closer to the freezing mark this morning and just above. Your out the door forecast right around 34, splitting the difference, and we'll head toward the 40s later today, mid 40s at that. Hopefully we'll see some sunshine peek through like we did yesterday. I'm hoping for that for sure. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in a little bit. Madison.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, schools across eastern Kentucky are still fighting sickness. Yesterday, multiple schools made the decision to cancel classes for the rest of the week to deal with dwindling attendance. That includes Letcher County schools, and the decision comes after they've been watching other districts suffer from the same problems.
We watch our numbers pretty closely, and sometimes it hits at different times. It may take longer for our district. We have a pretty large district, even though we don't have a large amount of numbers. You know, I have about 3,000 students, but we have 9 schools, and they're spread out throughout the county.
Letcher County schools hope to be back in session next Monday, and a reminder that you can find a full list of closings on our website at WYMT.com.
Well, Governor Andy Beshear is aiming to boost funding for the state of Kentucky by taxing cigarettes and vaping products. For smokers, 10 cents more for a pack of cigarettes is just the latest hike in a decades-long line of tax increases. But for vaping customers, the change would be dramatic. 10 cents more per milliliter on vaping liquid means a standard bottle measured at 60 milliliters will cost $6 more. One of the Louisville area's leading retailers says taxing vaping liquid shows the state does not understand vaping products.
A milliliter of liquid is very ambiguous. You have a milliliter that could contain 3 milligrams of nicotine, and then you have a milliliter like in a Juul that could contain up to 59 milligrams of nicotine. So taxing it just based on the liquid content, it just doesn't really make much sense.
Republican legislative leaders expressed skepticism over the governor's proposal, saying the new tax could reduce consumption and drive down the expected revenues.
And one Kentucky abortion bill was debated yesterday in federal court. House Bill 454 was passed in 2018. It bans dilation and evacuation abortions, except in emergencies. The procedure is usually performed after 11 weeks of pregnancy. Supporters of the bill say the type of abortion has no place in society. But questions of the bill's constitutionality have been raised by advocacy groups. A decision could take months.
A bill that would expand sports betting in Kentucky is beginning to gain momentum in the legislature. The bill easily passed through a committee but has not received a vote in the full House yet. House Bill 137 would allow legal sports wagering on pro sports and even college teams. Proponents say the taxes and fees on betting could bring in millions of dollars for the state.
And in a budget year, when you're looking at $22.5 million, that could help fill budget holes.
Opponents say this is nothing more than expanded gambling, and it requires a constitutional amendment. The bill still has a long road to go with its toughest test in the Senate.
And Governor Andy Beshear and the First Lady are encouraging you to shop and share to help survivors of domestic violence. Here's how to shop and share works. While you go grocery shopping, you can pick up toiletries or food and donate it to domestic violence shelters. There will be a special bin in the store for those items, and they will be forwarded to a domestic violence shelter.
And to know that you don't have to spend those first few hours when someone is trying to help you on a path towards safety and help you on a path towards healing. Wondering if you can have those basic necessities is just one extra relief.
Now, since 2010, Kentuckians have bought and donated more than $4.5 million in goods for the Kentucky Coalition Against Domestic Violence. Shop and Share starts this Saturday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. at Kroger, Food City, Super Dollar, IGA, and Save-A-Lot stores across the Commonwealth.
The new Whitley County Green Dot mural went up in Williamsburg yesterday. The mural was something more than 100 people in Corbin and Williamsburg came together on to paint in honor of their Cumberland River Green Dot organization. Those who painted the mural asked that everyone who takes a picture in front of it use the hashtag #BeKind to show their support in stopping bullying, domestic violence, and sexual assault in their county.
And also in Whitley County, we're getting a new look at the progress being made on a new Welcome Center. Here's a look at the construction site. The previous Welcome Center closed in October to be rebuilt. Officials said the old building was deteriorating, and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet expects to have the new Welcome Center open by this fall.
Starting next week, you can expect extensive delays on Combs Road and possibly Kentucky 15 here in Perry County. Crews will be placing beams for a new bridge starting next Wednesday. They expect to have 9 beams placed by Friday, February 7th. Traffic will be delayed between 8:30 in the morning and 2 to 2:45 in the afternoon.
And demolition of an old shopping mall in Hazard started yesterday. The land will soon feature 15 new homes for low-income families. Scott McReynolds with the Housing Development Alliance says this project has been in the works for a while.
So the city was able to come in and get a large CDBG grant, and so we're going to take this really run-down, dilapidated strip mall and turn it into 15 good homes.
Now, the Housing Development Alliance hopes to have most of the work completed in 2 years. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning.
More news is on the way. Coming up, a case of spring cleaning gone awry after one man accidentally donated his wife's wedding dress to Goodwill. He's in hot water.
I witnessed a few peaks of sunshine yesterday, and I hope to see a few more today. Unfortunately, it looks like the rain chances will be back the next couple of days. I'll track it out for you in about 3 minutes.